What is up, YouTube? Today we're going to be going over a money play. It's going to be really effective in attacking a user in no matter what kind of zone coverage they may be in. The two things you're going to find that are going to be a little bit more difficult to beat are man coverage. Now, this is in the New Orleans Saints offense, although it's better if you run the gun tray. Trey Y flex is going to be fine. There's going to be one more adjustment you're going to have to make, but you know what's one adjustment, right? So we're going to go into these gun tray Y flex. I don't think they have gun tray. They don't. So we're going to go into gun tray Y flex, and the play is going to be dagger. Now, dagger has been a pretty effective play for a couple years. I've ran it since Madden 7. I want to say Madden 17 or Madden 18. And apparently it's just barely catching on. I don't know. Maybe people just haven't realized that how good of a play it actually is until just now. So we're going to use this dagger. Again, this is going to be something really good to utilize against a user. Now, one adjustment I want to make right here is I'm going to go ahead and just slap in Tyreek Hill for our slot receiver. Again, speed is king. You guys can't tell me otherwise. You're not going to be able to convince me whatsoever. So let's go ahead and have Tyreek Hill in at the slot. Again, we're going to be utilizing dagger. One final thing, if you guys run trips tight end, you know trips tight end needs to be on the wide side of the field. Same exact principle behind Trey Y flex or gun tray. Wide side of the field. Do not run this on the short side. So let's go ahead and get into dagger. We're going to go into a plain old cover 3. Now, in gun tray, this is what it looks like. Your tight end, instead of being out wide, is going to be against the offensive line. So it just requires you to motion him in, so then you can put him on a delay fade. You guys may be wondering, what's the point of a delay fade? Well, essentially what a delay fade is good for is forcing the user to either stay in his zone and guard that, or make an adjustment by manning him up to a linebacker and then taking away a zone. So there's a few things that we're going to be able to take advantage of there when they start doing that adjustment with drags, with that dig route, all this good stuff. So really easy setup is just going to put your tight end on a delay fade. Again, it's the corresponding icon to release him from his block. He's going to release a lot better if he's engaged in a double team. If he's one-on-one with a block, it might take him 5 centuries to release from his block. And then lastly, you're going to go ahead and put Y on a drag. The reads, really simple. Either the crossing route, the dig route, or the drag. Again, kind of depending on where the user is to go after. If they do not chase this crossing route, most oftentimes the crossing route is going to go open underneath the deep zone. This is practice mode. It's probably going to cheat my brains out. But let's go ahead and roll out and pass lead it to the outside. It's right there. Bam. Dot. That's where you're going to be looking for every single time. This is also why it's important to have trips on the wide side of the field. It gives them a little bit more, they space out a little bit more, and therefore they're able to run the routes. I don't know why, but they're able to run the routes a little bit better as well. So again, just motion in this guy. If you're running Trey Y flex, if you're running gun tray, you can just go ahead and put him on a delay fade, block your running back, Y on a drag, and you hit this crossing route every single time until they start taking away. So let's just say this has been a few times. They're going to start manning up that crossing route. The man up, generally speaking, takes away this crossing route. Not always, but most times. And they do so. Let's just go ahead and say, hey, release from your block. Bam. Right there, release from his block. Downfield, he goes. Now, of course, we're going to hit the drag right there. And if the user was to chase that crossing route, we're going to hit that dig route. It's really simple reads. You really don't have to try whatsoever to mess this up. But again, it's just motioning your tight end, delay fade, Y on a drag, delay fade. You can release him from his block and go downfield. Now let's go ahead and just get into these other zone coverages. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on zone coverages because, to be frank, they suck. They're really bad this year. And I don't know if they're ever going to be half decent. So Tampa 2, again, same thing, motion in Travis Kelce, delay fade, block your running back, Y on a drag, and just look for this crossing route every single time. Yeah. He gets right there, bam, pass it to the outside, swerve catch, and dot. That was probably out of bounds. I didn't really do too good of a swerve catch. Probably could have stopped there. But same exact principle behind it. We're going to go ahead and look for this drag. I'm going to try forcing it. I'm going to try forcing the dig later on. Again, keep in mind this is to simulate as if it was a user. A user is going to be a lot different than a CPU. Obviously, if a CPU is going to be playing the ball the entire time, you're going to hit this drag. You're going to hit that crossing route every single time until they start user guarding it or manning people up. Even then, man is so inconsistent. and so random, you never know exactly what is going to happen. So this is any variety of cover 2. Cover 2 sink is going to be a little bit different. That soft squat is going to match a dig route. So let's go ahead and just show you guys that real fast. Again, gun tray Y flex. You can go into gun tray. Either or is going to be perfectly fine. Dagger. Go into cover 2 sink. And we're going to set this up the same exact way as, whoops, we don't want to move him out wide as we usually do. So we're going to bring this guy. Might have to bring him in twice. We will. So bring him in one more time. If you move him out wide, just do that simple fix right there. Then drag Y, delay fade A. This soft squat should match Sammy Watkins. Sometimes, most times it does. You can see right there, bam, it does. But again, same exact read, crossing out all day long until they start user guarding that. Even if they to put a quarter and press or do a baseline press, you're still going to get underneath. If they start baseline pressing an outside quarter and outside third, go ahead and start sending your tight end on a streak to help clear that side of the field a little bit more. It doesn't work as good as it did last year, but it's still somewhat effective. Now the last one is cover 4. There's 3 varieties to it. There's cover 4 quarters, palms, and drop. All of them play different. Cover 4 palms, I'm going to go ahead and get into that one because as I was talking about earlier, that one tends to bag this play pretty darn good. I'm going to cover 4. I don't know the Patriots off or defense whatsoever. It's similar to Ravens or Miami, slightly different though. So we'll go motion in Kelsey, delay fade, Y on a drag. You'll look for the dig route and palms or the crossing route, depending on how this deep zone on the right side of the field plays. Sometimes he plays it, other times he doesn't, and that's kind of where cover 4 palms is a little broken and where you need to know what you're doing if you are going to run it. But right there, bam, cross, you can see a little 10-yard, 15-yard, whatever it is, dig route is going to get separation in between his man and himself. Now, the nice thing about this cover 4 and the best way to attack a stock cover 4 if they aren't using anything is just creating a high-low read. That's how you break a cover 4 in real life even. It's high-low because you're forcing the middle defender, there it's right there, bam, that time the deep zone doesn't play it too well. And we get a little cheated because somehow, I don't know who that is keeping up Tyreek Hill stride for stride. But the best way to attack cover 4, flood the middle of the field. A levels sail is a good example where it's creating a high-low read. You're forcing the 3-yard cook to either go over top or take the underneath stuff. If a user's there, it's going to be a little more tricky, but still the same exact idea behind it. It's just forcing the high-low read. I don't want a quick hike or fake hike, whatever you guys call it right here, but you can see right there, bam. We'll just take our underneath stuff. Yeah, it might be really short yardage, but you can see yards are yards. 3 yards, if you need it, you take it. Dig route, it's going to get open every single time, of course, unless they're using it. Most people like to use the 3-yard cook in the middle of the field and just chase whatever they think they need to chase. So just force the user's hand in deciding what he's going to guard, and that's how you get attack cover 4 palms. Now quarters, this crossing route is going to get open a little bit better. So let's go back into this tray Y flex, back into dagger. I do know where cover 4 quarters is, ironically. It's going to be in 3-4 odd. Same exact thing. Block your running back. Motion in Travis Kelce. Delay fade. Again, I probably would prefer gun tray over tray Y flex. Less adjustments you have to do, and the quicker you can snap this ball. So we're going to go ahead and look for this crossing route. Snap the ball. You can see right there. Bam. That. Really, really, really easy. And that's going to beat cover 4 quarters every single time. It's just super simple. Now, I'm not utilizing this delay fade really because it's a CPU defender, and obviously CPU defenders sometimes play better than actual user defenders. It's sad, but yeah, that's sometimes how the cookie crumbles. So again, if they were to say play over the top like that or play a stock 3-yard cook, you're gonna go ahead and take your little drag. Obviously, you want to hit a little bit sooner than what I did right there, but you can get another gain of 3 to 4, maybe even 5 yards if you can get a little bit better of a spin animation behind it. So really simple way to attack cover 4 quarters, palms. The last one I'll talk about is cover 4 drop. Cover 4 drop is going to be the same thing as a cover 3. Again, crossing routes. There's crossing routes that are unguardable by any kind of zone unless you get lucky in the game. I will say, plenty of times that I have seen opponents get just stupidly lucky. So cover 4 drop show 2. Everybody knows it. They blitz everybody. They play bazooka defense, and this is where that check and release comes into play. So let's just go ahead and set this up again. If they are going to send 7 at you, this check and release is probably going to be your best friend. So go ahead and set it all up. If they send 8, you can go ahead and leave that streak, or you can put them on a curl route. Otherwise, most times I'm going to go ahead and run it as is. Let's double team this guy. Slide right so we can get outside the contain and break the contain. Bam, we break the contain, and we're going to pass that bad boy down into the outside dot. Super easy. Zoned out players might be able to react to it, but with a good pass lead and right throw trajectory, Lord knows you might be able to complete it in Madden NFL 20. So this play, it's easy. It's really focused towards users. It's not really focused on destroying every single zone coverage in the game. This one play, it's going to force the user's hand to either guard the delay fade or man up the delay fade and leave the drag, guard the crossing route, leave the dig route, guard the dig route, leave the crossing route, leave the delay fade, leave the drag. There's a lot of things that's going to really stress the user to be able to guard all 4 routes that you're going to have out on the field. You saw that this is going to be able to attack any kind of deep zones and flat zones that they may have out there. It is primarily designed to attack a user, and this is why I like using this play so much. If I know they don't have that good of a user, you best believe I'm going to dagger, and I'm running this setup every single time until you either show me that you can adjust to it, or you can finally figure out how to user guard that. By the way, good luck user guarding this, as this play is just going to, I think it's difficult for most players to guard because there's just so much you have to worry about. So anyways, that's going to take care of this video again. This is what the route combo looks like. It's really easy to run. It only requires pretty much 3 adjustments. If you're in gun tray, it only requires 2 adjustments. I'm going to leave in the comment section, there is one playbook I can't remember off the top of my head right now. There is a playbook that has gun tray. I'm sure there's several others as well. But I'll leave that in the comment section so you guys can go check that out and know what the other playbook was for gun tray. But this is Trey Y Flex out of the Saints offense. And anyways, that's going to take care of this video. I appreciate every single one of you guys. If you guys want some apparel, I'm just saying, you can't see this. Hopefully you can see this pretty good. This is in the description amongst other. If you guys are a student, husband, father, gamer, you name it, we got it. So anyways, till next time guys, get into the lab. This has been Team Ice here. See ya.